An Englishman's home is his castle, but Dagenham housing manager Tony has to deal with some of the council properties that look like dungeons. This morning he's come to assess a terraced house in the borough. The tenants have been evicted and he has to get the property cleared, refurbished and back on the rental market as quickly as possible.
Right, another void in Dagenham. I wonder what we'll find in this one.
Words can't describe what confronts him. For Tony, this could be the start of a bad day.
Absolutely lovely. To say the least, it's not very pleasant. It's absolutely full of rubbish and flies. Absolutely reeks. The further you get into it, the worse it gets.
Immediately it's obvious that this is yet another nightmare property. But what's depressing is that he's seeing more and more of them.
The general trend is the properties are getting as bad as this. Unfortunately, this is becoming the norm. This is probably getting to 50% of our properties, this. It's a bit sad, really.
But Tony soon discovers one of the reasons why this kind of devastation is all too common.
I don't know if you see in there, there's a syringe. So there's a good chance that they've been taking drugs in it. There could be sharps anywhere. Also, it's all the signs of everything else. There's more cans inside of the old favourite.
What makes the situation worse is that there's evidence that children were also living in these conditions.
It seems that nobody's got any pride, got no concern for how they live. If they've got kids, it's going to affect the kids. When the kids get older, if they're living in this, they're going to think it's the norm, and you've got another generation that's going to live like this. And I mean, as for the kids seeing, obviously we've had drug taking, cannabis smoking, heavy drinking. God knows what it's done to the kids. It's just sad. Just makes you wonder what in their life has got them to this stage. And I don't suppose we'll ever know.
Tony needs to assess the rest of the property quickly so he can get it cleared and refurbished as soon as possible. But things aren't getting any easier.
Another room of delights.
In Dagenham, Essex, council property manager Tony is continuing his assessment of the nightmare two-bedroom house. It's onto the kitchen and downstairs bathroom.
Another major operation. Look at the cooker and that. You can imagine what it must have been like when they were living here. And out these walls, and it's just covered with absolute filth. I just wonder if this is a resident in the bath. It seems to be a door fetish in Barking and Dagenham. I don't know whether that's supposed to be a repair. Why put that on there when you've got that and that? It's obviously been done on purpose. That's not accidental. It's not as if, oh dear, I've banged into it. I mean, that's been punched. It's actually that one there. As you can see, it's absolutely right through the door. I mean, there's some punch to go through that. Which just seems a total and absolute waste of time.
Finally, it's time to venture upstairs.
Right, another nice, neat, tidy bedroom. Yeah, we was obviously right about the kids, so we can safely say that there were more children than bedrooms here. Obviously they're a bit cramped, so they've not bothered to ask for a move, because normally the council are very good with people who need to move that have got children that need bedrooms. Obviously they weren't too worried about the kids being cramped up, I wouldn't have thought.
Amongst the clutter, some more interesting items catch Tony's eye.
Underwear, whips, that's quite common as well. And with the amount of flies that are in here, it's probably for fly swatting, I don't know, but they seem to get an awful lot.
Tony has now seen enough. There's no time to lose in getting this place cleared, and the honour falls to extreme cleaners Gary and Luke. Suited and booted, the boys can look forward to the grisly task ahead. In Dagenham, extreme cleaners Gary and Luke are making good headway clearing the two-bed house. Amazingly, the boys have spent most of their lives working as a team.
We went to school together and then joined the army together. And now we do this together.
Gary and Luke served their country in Bosnia and Germany. Being in the army has stood them in good stead to deal with the challenges of extreme cleaning.
You don't mind what you're going to go to, you just get on with the job and just do it, really. I suppose, like in the army, that's the way. If you get given a task, you go and do it and do the job well. So you just do exactly the same with this, really.
Having worked together for so long also helps with the daily grind.
So it's nice to come work with your best mate every day. You know, you just crack on together and get it done. So, I mean, we're both pretty similar personalities and that. We don't moan, we just sort of get on with it, you know. If you stand there moaning about it, you've wasted time, he'll be getting on with it, you know.
As they delve further, some family secrets come to light.
You do find the porn magazines and videos and whatever else, and you get the sex toys along with it as well.
Nothing shocks me at all no more.
But mixing drug taking and children gets pretty close.
Nice syringe there, sitting there in the children's room amongst the toys. They shouldn't be having syringes and needles around them. So it does make you sad, really. It's horrible. It's horrible, because I want my kids living like it. I don't think anyone would, really.
After a morning of hard graft and too many trips to the dump, Gary and Luke have eventually cleared the house.
All done.
All done.
Job done.
I've got to admit, I didn't think it'd be 3 lorry loads.
No, definitely not.
But sometimes it's deceiving.
And that's us. Done.
With the house empty, Tony can make his final assessment. It's not as bad as he thought, apart from the kitchen.
It's not really improved the kitchen by removing the stuff. In actual fact, you can see how dirty it is now. It's absolutely filthy. How they could possibly eat anything in here is beyond me. Just absolutely awful.
Tony can now tell his refurbishment team to come in and transform the property. As always, he remains optimistic.
We don't give up, we just keep on plodding on and try and get them to the best standard as we can. Eventually we'll get somebody in here that'll respect the place, you know, and is pleased just to get a council place. Unfortunately, we seem to get a lot that just want to wreck them.